I'm looking at Destiny. I'm hoping if you're a Destiny fan, you got your fingers crossed right now for Germany that they do get favored up there to that northwest, those cliffs that we've seen play a huge role in high placement points, high kill games, and even chicken dinners. But that definitely gets favored. And the last 2 games that we played here, it just hasn't been looking that way for Destiny. And they commit so many resources with making that their drop spot that you hope that they can get at least 1 game of Sandhawk in their favor. So that's the squad I'm looking for. I'm rooting for this game.
Yeah, Destiny's been one of these teams that I feel like they've flown under a bunch of people's radar, but they're actually insanely good. And I just want to see them play up to that potential here once again. We're going to see a lot of these split drops here once again on Sandhawk. It's becoming incredibly common. I'm not surprised even in the least, just because the priority of getting all those meds early as you can. So we'll see. We'll see how this is going to go for them here. If they don't lose any players early, can continue to center up. I think they might be in okay shape, but if we see like a southeastern circle, Dave, it could be kind of gross for them. We'll see. Oh no,
that's what we had yesterday. Remember, we had Cave, like right, that little inlet by Cave, like that was the spot. If you haven't watched it, make sure you go watch it because it was a pretty exciting game. And circle number 1, okay, it does go up. Destiny up there, you're in it for the time being. But Shivas, pretty dead center. Talk about another squad being dead center right here, representing Egypt. Spoke to Desha here this morning, and I was surprised. They told me the squad has been playing together for 3 whole years. So they got a tight friendship going on, communication on point. And their goal here in PUBG Mobile World Invitational is to be known worldwide. They're known in Egypt. Everybody knows them in Egypt from dominating, but they're looking to make a name for themselves on that global stage.
I mean, that's amazing. In any esport, let alone here in PUBG Mobile, where teams feel like they're constantly changing up, to be together for 3 years. I remember that the original Tempo Storm roster was together for like 12 months or something. And that was like a big deal. But 3 years, that is incredible. That to me honestly makes me want to root for this team even more, because it's such a pure goal, Dave. They just want people outside of their country to know them. But here, honestly, playing on this stage, getting exposed to this audience, we never have heard of them before. What better opportunity? And Desha pulling off the plays we saw from him yesterday. That's how you get your name out there.
Some people don't even have shoes that old, all right? Let alone a whole team to stick it through the thick and the thin. Like, I agree with you. It's a gem. It's a gem, in my opinion. And as of right now, 12th place. 12th place. So hopefully they can make some moves happen today. Desha, though, highlight play yesterday. Almost a 1v4 with the M249. I had to message him, like, dude, M249, question mark? And like, yeah, so close. They were happy, though. They were happy with their results. So we'll see. They have a decent spot right now in this Sandhawk zone. Pretty center. And looked like Team Onyx, they were able to kind of pull off that one. We almost saw Master get taken out again early.
Yeah, Master is one of those high-risk, high-reward players where either we saw in the last game he was able to get the jump on their opponents, look at that 2v1, or just gets caught out in no man's land. Dude's off in Narnia, stumbled through a random wardrobe, and here we are. So hopefully Master can play a little bit more with the rest of the squad, as we're seeing 19E doing some scouting now. So I was also taking a look at chat yesterday, because we had a perception that GFan was IGLing here for this squad, but according to chat, and if I'm wrong, I blame you, apparently Sam's the one who's been doing the most of the IGLing, which kind of makes a little bit of sense, as GFan's sort of the new player on the roster, to have Sam, who's been there a little bit longer with more consistency, to help be that guiding voice. So I don't dislike that call at all, but it's just sort of interesting given GFan's just absolute wealth of experience. There are a few players in all of North America who have as much competitive experience as him.
I'll one-up you, and I got it from the source,
Okay.
Talked to GFan and said, hey, I heard this. Is this true? Like, I'm shocked if it is. And they said, yeah, since they are a new addition to the squad, they kind of wanted to sit back and see what could happen. So Sam is IGLing, but G-Fan is giving some assistance, though. All right, I'm just going to put that out there. Giving some assistance when needed. So far, though, 19 esports, considering the team is fairly new working together, 4th place? Hello? they're doing great.
So I think one of the biggest things here, and I may shut up in a moment if this fight breaks out, but oftentimes when you see like a powerhouse roster come together, it's like 4 crazy fraggers. It's like 4 insane fraggers, and they all come together, and you're like, this on paper, this should be great. But it doesn't work because they're all 4 crazy fraggers, and they're not always thinking about the higher level strategy of the game. Whereas this squad, yes, you've got the young gun and a player like Xenox, but you have that older, more veteran experience, the calmer minds of G-Fan. You've got Sam in there as well, and then Acer. So just so much competitive experience, but not all about just being crazy fraggers, about playing with the team, about thinking about it from a strategic level. And I think that is why this team is performing so much better, despite the fact that they're incredibly new.
And a lot of people, they like to call it like that honeymoon phase as well. Like the team, everybody's super open-minded, happy to be working together. A lot of information, tips and tricks kind of flowing back and forth in all directions. And I think that environment just has been opening up all 4 players here in this event. Yeah, it's a short event, but if they can finish top 5 in 20 games here at this level of competitive play with teams from around the world, that's an accomplishment. That accomplishment goes in the Twitter bio, confirmed.
I mean, it's an accomplishment, and you're doing some good because the money is going to charity. Let's not forget here, ladies and gents. Not only is it great because you can say, yes, I did this, I accomplished something, but you also help put money towards a fantastic cause. So it's just a win, 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 win. There's just so many wins, just W's all the way down the line. As we're seeing things slowing down here on Sanhok, we're going to ignore Itsu, running themselves over, whatever happened there in the kill feed.
Yeah.
But this has been fairly slow, all things considered, for Sanhok. I think because teams are starting to appreciate, Dave, that if you commit on one of these fights, you better be damn well sure you can finish it because some other team will come in and finish it for you.
It's good and bad, right? It's good in a sense like, okay, yeah, we're alive. We made it to 20 minutes in game. But then it's bad because we're 20 minutes into the game and there's still 14 teams alive. It's like, okay, if we die here, how many points is that? Oh, 0.
I think it's 0?
Yeah. It's 0. So almost for me, like if I was like coach, I'd be like, hey, if you could get some easy early game kills, especially on Sanhok, you have to do it. If you get 1, if you get 2, for me, 2 kill points early on Sanhok is a huge offset to the risk of that situation that happens all the time that we just talked about. 20 minutes in the game, 14 teams alive, 0 points. I'd rather get 2 points and get taken out early than last 20 minutes and get 0 points.
Well, a team who might not be getting 0 points here is that's Chivas. Taking some shots over at Nextria Gaming, who got knocked out first on that last one as well. They came into the day tied for first place, but that goose egg that you're talking about, they were on the receiving end of it last time around, as they are able to make the crossing, though, onto the southwest island. The smoke should be able to give them enough cover to make their way out. Nicely done. Fran, though, able to do a pretty stellar amount of damage, all things considered, especially at that range with the M4.
I had to input a little side note right here. Clash on that boat Tate. First boat Tate I think we see on Sanhok. We saw a ton of boat Tates on Aragal with those military-based zones, of course, but we'll see what Clash can do. And back to your point, getting taken out early, and more specifically, our squad that we're looking at right now representing Turkey, like they came into today first place. And we had this conversation before. Is it easier to maintain that first place spot, or is it easier to chase it down? And honestly, I feel like a lot of eyes always look at that first place squad, and that might be what we're seeing here today, but we'll get back to that because we got some long range fighting. Okay, it sizzled out a little bit, but yeah, long range.
That's only because Sandro found a rock. That's not because Cunning Power doesn't want to keep shooting at him. Sandro, get your head down. The ER Killers, though, I keep coming back to it. They do well at these long-range fights. Cunning Power, though, is not a squad that I would want to mess with too much, especially at this point right before the circle is about to switch. That's the big thing. You want to be conscious about when you take these fights. You don't want to keep yourself in a bad spot because this next circle will determine quite a bit. It is centering up Looks like it will be favoring this southern island. Destiny, I like the position they're in. They've stayed on this island on the off chance that it should shift upwards. They would have been in a fantastic position. Now they do have to rotate through. 19E may play gatekeeper. We're also looking at it Clash, Dave. The problem is they now have to make a call. Do they stay out in the water? Do they play it real slow? Or do they dive bomb it in towards... Well, I mean, it's going to be Onyx. That's the call they've got to make. Do they go for dry land? They've got to make the call, but they're all in one boat. It could be disastrous for them.
Yeah, I see them moving a little bit further towards the land. We see teams, sometimes they're all the way out there on the edge. They might actually pop out the boat, kind of swim around the boat, behind the boat. But with only having one, yeah, you open yourself up to somebody spotting out that boat, blowing up that boat, and then you're just, good luck swimming. So as of right now, Clash, it looked like they might have spotted out some enemies out there, Onyx. They made a U-turn. They're heading back up towards the north, towards Destiny. So we might have some action with our pirates out there on the 7 Seas.
Yeah, I can see them heading right towards all the swimming players of Destiny. Would love to check that out as well, as Ghost Gaming is moving in here dead center. It looks like they want to be moving in towards Painan. This is exactly what we're talking about. Clash and Destiny. Destiny's going to be aware of this. Clash have been able to find the one opening, the one timing window that this play actually works before Destiny is able to make landfall. What an accidentally genius play. I am floored. And considering they started off with only 3 players, they're the first one to lose, only team to lose a player early to 19E. But they're not looking out there. Spotted Destiny. They didn't know. They don't know, Dave.
They do not know. So Destiny's going to be popping on the shores like some Navy SEALs catching Clash off guard. Before we get back to that, though, we're popping over to the tail end of this engagement. Daddy's still alive out there, though. Needs to avoid these grenades from Frozen. Daddy, we've seen them time and time again. They like to go for those off angles. They like to wrap around and really catch them off guard.
Yeah, that's sort of the staple of this player. This squad, though, I feel like every time we tune into them, they're losing a player early. I feel like we never see this squad with all 4 players alive. I just feel like they play it a little bit brash, a little bit off the cuff. I don't think they necessarily respect how good all their opponents are all the time, because they go for these really gutsy, aggressive plays, and they haven't necessarily done the legwork, the scouting, the setup, the foundation in order to fully execute them. And time and again, we've seen them be punished. We know they've got the individual gun skills, but they need to play together as a team to make it work.
Exactly. Individual gun skills. That's the key takeaway right there. We've seen each player from Loconosha be able to get into these situations and win those fights, but when we're talking about teamwork, it's like rubbing 2 rocks together. It's just not doing much. So
where are we going with it? Yeah, rubbing 2 rocks together.
Great metaphor. They're not doing much.
You've got flint and steel, and then you think
that does something.
That does something.
But 2 rocks
doesn't. This is just 2 rocks.
That was my point.
These are the caveman plays. I see what's going on. As Ghost Gaming is looking to get involved here.
I appreciate
That's
it.
another down onto Loca Nostra. I actually love that analogy, just smashing 2 rocks together. Why is it not doing anything? Oh, that's kind of what it feels like, though, because they are in a rough spot. They are sandwiched hard between Nextria and Ghost is coming into the day angry, Dave. They are big mad.
Thing is, yesterday, Ghost, they started really strong, game 1 Erangel, and then they came into Sandhawk and got put to a halt. So we see them all separating, and it looks like they are going to be respecting the next circle shift, because
I was going to say, yeah, look at that circle, Dave.
60% water, if I had to put the water percentage on it.
Yeah.
It's a lot of unplayable terrain right now, and this was that fight. Oh, Clash. No clue. They did not see those bobbling heads in the water as they boated on by, and Destiny just popping up on the shore. Destiny now in such a strong spot. I'm curious, though, how will they defend? Because a lot of people are going to be looking to kind of crash the coastlines right now.
And I was like, Clash, you have this accidentally beautiful timing window. Turns out it wasn't beautiful for them. It was beautiful for Destiny, who took the slower play. They popped out in absolute perfect unison and made it look fantastic, as once again, teams are getting caught out on these reckless sends. This time it's going to need a power. Again, Dave, this 2-2 split has punished them every time. Part of me is wondering what would happen if they tried to play more of a 3-1, as we're seeing another fight break out. Once again, Destiny continuing to get involved. This time it's against 19 Esports, who getting third party to boot from Chivas as well. 19E, Dave, out of the frying pan into the fire. They are in a rough spot. They're about to go down.
Yeah, in this situation, Destiny definitely in the stronger position because they have the room to pull back on the opposite end of the hill. We saw 19E trying to push over that hill, immediately spotted from Shivas from behind, and they're just tunnel vision right now on that position. And another kind of caveat, 19E, they're going to need to watch their back end because Alpha 7, yeah, that position that 19E are in, they have 3 teams right now pretty much surrounding them. And I don't know if they're going to make it out in a lap. Yeah, look at that's the angle I was talking about. 19E, they're just like ducks right now, just sitting there and hoping that, I mean, Acer's in a bush. Acer's hoping that that bush is enough camouflage.
I mean, at least for G-Fan, this is basically where Nova Esports drops on Sandhawk. So very familiar with the landscape. Not going to do a whole lot for you at this point. As they're just heads down in the water trying to survive as Alpha 7 is moving in, and that's going to be it. Acer goes out. 19E, just a little bit of bad rotation and other teams punishing them there, not able to get enough groundwork. I wish they'd been able to take over that compound that Destiny was in before Destiny rotated in. I think that would have been big for them here, not getting forced out onto this barren terrain out here on the outside. This hard shift just did not play well for them because so many teams came into their space. And now Destiny, Dave, the team that showed up on day number 1, got quiet on day number 2, is looking to go loud again here in game number 2.
I see Destiny getting wiped right here. And the reason I say that is because Senatexa, you can tell with the way they're moving, the new light machine gun they're carrying is just like a +10 in confidence department. Like, they're just sending it right now, getting some additional ammo. There's 75 rounds in that machine gun. Like, that thing, and it fires faster than a Vector and does double the damage. So, Destiny, you got the cover. Don't be peeking them heads because Senatexa is looking for him, especially with the 6 times on that bad boy. It's gonna be insane.
That's gonna be quite terrifying, especially because they did just get the circle. Revu is scouting. They realize that there's still one player of 19 Esports left, and they think they have a guess about where that player is. Another hard shift, though. But again, we knew not be favoring the water all the way up here just outside of Ruins. That's the big thing. So this southern portion of the circle, all these teams coming in, going to be interesting to see. Also, RTG, Dave, they played in the blue this entire game. They have not been in the zone for like 8 minutes. This is pretty crazy.
And 4 alive. Hey, 4 alive. So maybe we'll see them late game. Like, hey, there they are. Hey, 4 alive. We're starting to unravel their strategy right now. So we'll see if they can survive as Ghost Gaming on the edge. Not quite in the zone. I'll be over here trying to gatekeep Turkey, see if they can keep him out. Daddy's still alive in the back end as well.
Yeah, Daddy did a great job surviving that off-angle player, able to snake their way through. The kill feed is continuing to light up. Kudir up here on the high ground, though, is going to have a great position, not only to gather intel onto Ghost, potentially be able to get this opening knock, but Spec is well aware. But Ghost is in a rough one because they are not in this next circle. They have to move forward. At Nextria Gaming, they are in the prime position to play Gatekeeper.
Yeah, we see, I believe, Bayo taking some shots on that guard tower just to keep them pinned down, you know, prone, and to allow their squad mates to push up just a little more. But UDR, Pokus in the grass. Right there, getting a knock and even a kill.
Yeah, nicely done. I mean, that's going to help them be able to push in a little bit further here. But Guns, oh, that position they're in is so good right now. They are going to have to move for this next circle, though. But having that hard cover to work with is fantastic. Godsend is just stuck out here in the blue. Dave, it's Sandhawk. Why would you expect anything else?
Papa Blue always has the last laugh when we're looking at Sandhawk. And Guns already moving on out of there. The next zone does shift. They're going to be pretty much pushing uphill in their vehicles right into Onyx. So Onyx with the advantage, they have the uphill, they have the cover, and the zone. We'll see if they can defend. Guns, super strong team, and a lot of teams right now just trying to fight their way in right now towards that south and just survive.
Yeah, oh, we can see all these long-range shots. Nuggets is getting involved from the blue. No, they're not long for this world. They're going to try and take down as many teams as possible with them as Onyx is continuing to keep the pressure up there on that cliff. They've got a great spot, but they lost the zone. Dave, it's centered up on RTG, who rotated in from the blue into Ruins. This team, I'm losing my mind over it, Dave. It's absolutely nuts as Ghost Gaming continue to push it now into Nextria Gaming, taking a lot of damage, but Ghost is taking more. They're in a terrible position. They're getting pinched from all sides. Tommy gun. Tensa's looking to put the pressure back on, but can't find the shot. Spec drops, and just like that, Ghost Gaming is out in 15th place. Dave, deja vu. Game 1 to game 2, 2 days in a row. What's up with Ghost?
Hey, just a tight spot right there. I mean, honestly, no circle luck. And not only that, like, yeah, you had UDR pulling up right behind you. So that's a classic sandwich right there for Sanok. It's guns. Okay, take it out. Onyx showing up, putting in some work here today.
I mean, that's what you need to do. 19E also finally going down, getting a little bit more in terms of placements there for G-Fan. Not ideal. As we're seeing next Ria Gaming, they did a fantastic job gatekeeping Ghost, and now they're just holding back the line as all these other teams are pushing in. I feel like it's the hot gates right now, where these 4 players are fighting off an army of enemies.
The hot potato hot gates. Everyone's trying to pass it off to the enemies, and hey, look at them. No, look at me, because once we start to take some shots, everybody down here is going to be looking in your direction, trying to take you out, trying to get those kills. But look at the teamwork right now, all moving together as a unit. 9 AKM in hand. Go for the spray. Oh, but traded on.
Oh, nicely done there from Next Ria Gaming. The team shooting is a little bit better. The third party comes in as well as Nomi, I believe it was, looking to get in there. No, it's just a play zone as well. Great little play there from Next Ria Gaming. And they're just out too. Wow.
Couple kills though. Couple kills, and when we're looking at Sanok, that is perfect. I talked about it. 20 minutes in, 8 teams. That's 1 placement point. So if you could die right now with 4 or 5 kills, that's a win. That is a huge win in my book. And let's see, looking around. Yeah, we got a lot of solos.
Circle.
A lot of solos right now too.
We do indeed. But Dave, you want to talk about winning? 4 players up, hard cover in the zone, only team in it. Ra'ad is in a winning position right now. RTG did a fantastic position late rotating in. They took over Ruins, but they're going to have to push through Chivas to move next. Alpha 7, UDR, KP, LN, Destiny, Solo City, Dave. It's Solo City.
So Shivas can use this Defilade on the road to possibly provide some cover. Yeah, we can see him just pretty much sending it for free, not even spotted. But RTG is going to roll up right behind him. Here it is.
This is the fight we were looking for, the pure 4v4, the 2 squads that took it easy, looking to go hard. As those shots from El Chapo, if he stays alive, he is an absolute menace, as it is a 2v1 situation, as Nito was looking to get off the first aid. Will the revives come out? Chapo going on over, AK in hand. Can they find the shots? Wide peek, and there it is. Chapo, huge plays from RTG, but now, Dave, their fight is just getting started.
Yeah, they're going to have to push uphill here, basically, because look at this next circle. And Egypt, we talked about them. They're trying to make it so the world knows their name. We talked about it. 3 years playing together. Okay, let's see what they can do here. This is looking like their winner chicken dinner. They just need to make sure not to overexpose themselves in that window to get knocked out for free, as they clearly have the advantage in the situation.
Huge advantage here. If they want to prove how they compete on the world stage, this is their game to win. They need to make sure they can do it. But with shots and nades like that coming in, the team play. One player shoots the door and the other one throws the nade through it. Are you kidding me? Kunina power on another level.
Get the pickup, get the pickup. But look at Daddy from behind trying to sneak up, trying to backstab, take advantage of the situation. Konina Power still a duo, but they're playing right now like they're a squad.
This is, I mean, Dave, that play was absolutely massive. Delhop with the off angle is going to have to try and get through there. Have they been able to get the revives off? Yes, they are, chaining those together, which is huge. Kanina Power, nobody's going to have a helmet right now. Not an ideal situation. Can still land those shots, Dave. No hesitation. That M4 going rat-a-tat-tat. The molly to seal the deal. Daddy from behind.
Daddy trying to steal some of these points. Nomi inflicting so much damage through that door. But look at this. RTG trying to third-party Konita Power.
10K able to stay alive. Daddy's been exposed. RTG with that nade all the way over. El Chapo, you absolute fiend. Top 4 finish, though, from Loca Nostra, which, considering how this game started, more than they could have asked for. Odds still holding on in a 3v2v2. One of the problems with this compound, Dave, is that it put a target on their backs. Everyone knows they're there. So many windows to try and keep track of, and the amount of nades these players have left, it's just not fair.
Just one grenade after another. I think the mollies will inflict the most damage. The spread on them right now, it goes far and wide, and they are just stacked on top of each other. Konina Power, if they play their cards right, they could come out on top right here and back to that molly. Yeah, look at that. You can't do nothing. You're on fire. Rod.
I mean, the one player, though, Mornir, who came on the outside, appreciated that they had to make a different play from a different angle. Every single team is shooting each other right now. RTG's going to drop. It comes down to Konina Power and Rod. Rod still finds the shots, and they still get it done.